Barbie doll gone XXX. If Barbie were to be a porn star, this is the porn star Barbie.
Okay, and we're live. Hello, and welcome
God,
to Oily Trash Movies.
did you seriously
the,
record?
the only podcast that cold opens with talk about porn star Barbie.
Are you
I'm
seriously recording?
Yes, and I'm actually blushing for you this time. That's a pretty good one.
And it's so funny that I'm not gonna cut it. If I cut it, it's gonna be a crime.
All right, so this is the only podcast on YouTube in which people watch movies and say unfunny things for 2 hours. We're your hosts. I'm Daddy WarBux.
And I'm Bublegum Barbie.
And we got a great episode for you today. We're going to be watching ManFish, but before we get into that, our retrospectives from last week, we just watched Grimcutty, which was a very oily jump scare movie.
I forgot we watched that movie. I was like, my brain was still in Candyland. It's insane. Grimcutty was a terrible movie. I would recommend it to teens though. Like you said, they could be watching their phones and then look up the jump scares, because there were good jump scares where I got scared.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. I hated that movie. It had one redeeming factor, which was the ASMR scene, which it completely abandoned after that one scene. And the one thing I did realize about that movie, they do one effect, and they do it a couple times, and that's where the kid is getting choked by Grim Candy, and they're being held up, and then other people look, and they can't see Grimcutty, they just see somebody being suspended like they're choking. I'm fairly certain that exact scene was popularized. I don't know if it was invented here, but it was certainly popularized in one of the Friday the 13th movies, in which Freddy was choking somebody, and they burst into the room, and they just see the kid held up by their neck. So I'm assuming that's a really easy and cheap effect to pull off. And that's all I noticed from that movie, and that's all I had to add about it.
That's interesting. I did like that effect, though. The idea of when Grimcutty attacks and the way he attacked, he forced people to cut themselves. That was really interesting. And then, of course, the suspension idea, which revealed that the kids weren't crazy and they were seeing a creature that the parents couldn't see due to the parents' worry of social media use. The idea was interesting. It just didn't execute. The creature was great. The special effects not special effects. The practical effects was really good. I didn't really notice the music, and I realize in our review we didn't talk about it.
Well, the only time that the sound came into play was during the ASMR parts. There was music. There was like the jump scare, like bing, when it, you get that deep sort of shaking sound, and like sort of like the musical cues. But
and I guess I would say that was okay.
All in all, this is a jump scare movie.
Teenagers,
and it is just a shameless ripoff of Slenderman.
Yeah,
and also Momo.
Yeah, it is a scary movie for teens, casted by 30-year-olds pretending to be teens. It's a great movie in that retrospect, but it's a terrible movie in teen movies. I think there's so many better, 1,000 times better films out there for the teens, but this one does its entertainment for them. So that's it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, don't watch what was it called? Don't watch Grimcutty, watch Candyland.
Yeah.
But today, we are watching what looks to be a truly bizarre film. This is called ManFish. This is a British film, and it stars the Ichthyoid from Freeze.
Oh.
Which in Freeze, we know the Ichthyoids were the top supporting actors. And now they got a role as a lead. So, what can you tell us about this movie?
Okay, so the synopsis of the film is when a humanoid sea creature washes up in Terry's bleak life, they quickly develop feelings for each other. But can man love fish? And will Terry's older criminal brother get his hands on the creature before Terry can decide how he feels.
What the hell? This is about a guy who is in love with an Ichthyoid?
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Oh god, Bubble. What have you gotten us into this week?
Oh, the director is Mark Coleman. Let's see if we've seen. Now I'm interested. If this is the director of Freeze, I am very curious.
I'm fairly certain it's not. That was a joke, Bubble.
Oh, you got me.
This isn't the actual Ichthyoid, but it looks just like them.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god.
The story looks bizarre and oily trash, and the reason why I picked this movie is because I think that it qualifies as an oily trash movie. I don't think our devoted listeners would ever consider watching this film because it's so bizarre and it just looks like trash, but apparently they have won 4 wins. They have awards in Best Feature Film, Best Local Film, Best Feature Award. So they've gotten Best Feature Award twice. So that's what they've got won. It looks good, but it's a bizarro story. And I'm excited to see this.
Let's not waste any more time and get into this, shall we?
Let's go.
We already open up with Limpy just gargling and spitting.
This is Limpy when he goes into the he has to go to a beachside, his truck. And after he hires the prostitute from Candyland.
Limpy, get in here and watch the movie with us. Limpy is our first live viewer of the podcast recording we've ever had.
Is he not watching the film right now? What a silly guy.
He's just listening to us, which is, I guess, entertaining in its own way. Oh my god, is he gonna catch the Ichthyoid?
Oh my gosh, I think so.
And I just want to say how disgusting the weather looks.
Did he catch old beer?
I think the Ichthyoid threw that out at him as a peace offering. Oh my god, he's gonna catch! No, he's fishing for for the Englishman with beer.
You catch Englishmen with beer. That's so funny. Oh, how's my breathing? Is it okay?
Your breathing is okay.
Yeah. I'm already loving the color palette. Again, UK has the thing where I guess the filmmakers in UK really love wearing yellow because in UK it's always so depressing and cloudy out there. And it does look nice when it comes to film. Our female character is not hot at all, and
we're not gonna have any thumbnail material.
Any thumbnails, but at least we could use an Ichthyoid.
If being married 4 times has taught me anything, it's that life is too short to keep putting it up the same woman.
Ah, man, this guy talking wisdom.
You know, I was gonna say that they give me like Limpy and War vibes. If you guys were to go a pub, it's the both of you just talking about this.
I can't understand anything these guys are saying.
We should have opened a UK Wikipedia slang words. So they're drug addicts? I mean, they're drug dealers?
Seemingly. So, this is our down on his luck hero. Money's tight. Nobody respects him.
Did you read the front page?
I did not.
I feel like that must have been important.
Captain Bellend. I was aiming for your apple juice. Not tonight, Scott. I'm not in the mood. Oh, why's that?
Oh, wow, it's already been like an entire day. He's just hung there for like hours.
I mean, they are British.
I feel that it would have been more bustling.
Yeah, British pub.
Like, way more fishermen in that pub.
He's like, if only I had a fish man to love.
No.
This is a guy in like 3rd grade.
Oh my god, he writes like a 3rd grader.
Oh no.
At least he wrote everything right, like correctly. He spelled everything correctly.
We need some sort of YouTube-friendly term
For what?
for when movies touch upon this topic.
Oh my god, so he is the fisherman that we saw get caught and pulled down. And that's a letter to the Ichthyoid.
What? What are you talking about?
The letter he wrote!
The letter he wrote was to his girlfriend. It was a side note.
Oh!
And now I'm gonna have to use the little censor bleep effect on that. I hate this movie. This is just depressing. He stepped in dog shit.
All the pooches are missing.
They're all on the shore, just shit in the sand. Oh my god, it's a dog skull.
No, Coco! Oh my god,
shit.
is that the Ichthyoid?
Oh no, there's Coco's collar.
I love the seaweed touch that they put into it. Like, let's make this look more like it's been in the sea. Let's just wrap this seaweed around. I love that he like pieced it together. He pieced the clues together. He's like, oh.
This thing coming up like the creature of the Black Lagoon.
He got attacked by a flying chair. There was like no wind around at all.
Yeah, where'd that chair come from? I mean,
From the wind, apparently, but it wasn't windy enough for it to pick up and physically hurt the Ichthyoid.
Oi! Oi, dickhead!
Smart. This is our first like smart character, like doing a logical thing that I've ever seen in a very long time in a movie.
robbing somebody.
Yeah, rob somebody. Yes, that's correct.
This could be
What
worth
an interesting character she is. She just punches it to make sure it's knocked out.
That thing back there could be the answer to all of our problems, alright?
It's gonna be the answer to all of their marital problems.
I don't want to get pulled
Oh my
over.
gosh, yeah. This is depressing. This is like the nice guy, and nice guys let women like her treat them that way.
What is it? A 60 pound?
You could walk around with beer and you don't get in trouble in the UK? Hell yeah. She just throws bread at him. Is this how you feed your women more?
No, but it's how I feed fish. Just throw breadcrumbs at them. She's giving him cocaine.
I'm gonna use my favorite GIF for that part. Oh my god, a jump scare.
It's using the handles like the velociraptors in Jurassic Park.
This is a real guy. Yeah, socks with holes on it. How many socks with holes do you have for?
Listen, I am very particular about my socks. I change my socks like 3 times a day. And I have what's called an socalypse, where when my socks start to get old, I just throw them all away at once, and I buy all brand new socks that all match. It's the most efficient sock program. I'm living in the future, Bubble.
You know, yeah, I've heard that, like, specifically with, like, a lot of military men and people who have been what's it called when they go and do war stuff? What's that word?
Like a tour of duty?
No, they, like,
Overseas?
get drafted. No, they, like, the military term. Anyway, the majority of military men who, like, they know, and it's a luxury to have clean socks because they have dirty socks all the time. So going home, they know the importance of
Terry! Your mate
clean socks all the time and changing them 3 times a day is probably really, really good thing.
I'm just autistic and I like having fresh socks. I've never been in the military.
It's logical.
If this ends up not getting cut, just to confirm to everyone, our 750,000 viewers, I'm not committing stolen valor here. I just like clean socks.
And no, but I'm saying that military men would agree with you, especially vets and stuff like that, is why I'm mentioning this story, because a lot of
Okay.
military men would be like, yes, it is logical to have clean socks, and changing them 3 times a day is probably crazy and overboard, and yes, autistic, but not a bad idea.
Look, I change my socks whenever I take my shoes off. Because you take your shoes off, and then your feet are sweaty, and your socks are kind of wet. You don't want, wet, sweaty socks on.
Ew, this Ichthyoid is ugly.
He's got, that stringy beard.
I mean, it's creative. It's a creative look.
Its mouth looks like an asshole.
Ew. It does. Well, I think that it was purposely done. I think that was on purpose. It's supposed to look that way. I think that's what they were going for. Ugh, it's gross. Oh my god, they're falling in love.
Those are his, the Ichthyoids' children.
Yeah.
He's like, this was Jeremy's shell.
Those are stupid expensive, though. I've seen one for like $20. I was like, what is this bullshit?
They're like the cheapest Chinese junk you could ever see. They sell those at every single, beach, every store along every boardwalk.
Yeah, and they sell it for freaking $20. I think it's the stupidest, biggest scam ever.
Do you want to have a go on my fanny?
What a line.
What did she even say? Do you want to have a go?
No, do you want to go at my fanny?
Oh. Fanny in the UK does mean vagina.
Oh.
That's why they don't call them fanny packs in the UK. They call them bum bags.
Oh. More you know.
Terry, do you want to take your little guest into the other room so me and Trace can have a natter?
I wonder what that means. A natter, like a chat?
I have no idea what a natter is. All right, we've got Limpy with his Wikipedia page of UK slang. A natter, it means to talk continuously for a long time without any particular purpose.
I find it interesting how this old man, rather than his white hair and white beard, technically looks younger than the rest of the cast.
Yeah, he doesn't have the wrinkles that a longtime fisherman would have.
What? Are you telling me that this old man is not really a fisherman, but an actor? I've been lied to. Ah! Oh my god, is he gonna fight him?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, bra fight.
Oh man.
Okay, this fight scene was not that great. Is this how you get your women into your house war?
By hitting them with blow darts?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, getting impaled.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't mean to push him. Come on, can you help him?
I didn't mean to push him when he literally pushed him.
Wait.
He's gonna explode.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, are they gonna start making out?
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking
Oh my god. They are this is like I am not going to cut this. This is so gross.
I
and
hate this.
uncomfortable.
His nose is like in the Ichthyoid's eye.
He's like ripping off his clothes off. He's like, oh my god. His hand is, the fish hand is over his shoulder.
The Ichthyoids still got all his clothes on. How did that work?
I know, right?
If we're gonna have ManFish sex, I want to at least know how it works.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, that pink jumpsuit is on point.
Don't trust it.
Oh my god.
Burnt toast. Human toast. Mum toast.
Oh no, I guess she didn't go into the ocean.
Yeah, rip.
She became mom toast.
It's like ManFish is gonna be like, my mom got caught in a tuna fish net.
And they cut off her tail. So she had to grow human feet.
This is part of the Mermaid Down cinematic universe.
Yeah.
I just want to...
You know, this reminds me of a less scary version of the movie Splice with Adrian Brody.
Splice was such a great film. What a great actor.
He's drawing gills on.
I've never seen him look like that before. Terry, his eyes. He was gonna kill me.
He does exactly the same way he did the first time we saw him. We don't get to see the conversation she's having. I'm pretty sure she's like thinking of like getting rid of him or selling him or killing him.
Almost certainly.
And I'm kind of upset that the movie didn't show us the conversation.
I'm not gonna lie, I've not been a fan of this movie so far.
You know, this movie's pretty bad. I'm shocked that it's gotten as many awards as it's gotten.
I mean, like, yeah, the fish monster flipping the bird, that's classic. But the way the British... I guess we can get into this more when the movie's over, but just, like, the tone of British humor, where everything's, like, depressing and horrible. And it's like,
It's not that it's depressing, it's just their weather.
One look.
Come on. What's the name?
he's like, I can smell her on ya.
Gross.
Supposed to be picking him up to...
They're gonna sex traffic the fish man.
I guess so. So she did end up selling him, selling him for top dollar, I guess. I mean, top pound. That's his brother? I just got that.
Yeah. Haven't you been paying attention?
Well, yeah, but it's just hard to understand them sometimes.
To eat the most exotic and rarest fish.
They're gonna eat fish man.
I bet you the one who bought him was probably like a YouTuber content mukbanger.
A mukbang.
Yeah, a mukbang YouTuber, and it's like, yeah, I'll eat that fish man.
You need to buck your ideas up, otherwise I'm going to let everyone know what you've been doing with that saltwater shitbag.
How does she know that they've been doing it?
Because his dick smelt like fish. Tasted like a fish stick bubble.
I mean, fish sticks are delicious.
God, there's like fish jizz everywhere. Oh, God.
He tasted it and he knew exactly what it was. He's like, oh no. I wish there was more gore.
I wish there was anything. Well, hopefully we get a new
Sock drawer.
location.
No, you prick, the pub!
Oh, God, no. We're just going back to the pub. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, because the last time I checked, hell, you haven't got a minge.
You haven't got a minge? Is that what she said?
I guess so. What is a minge? Womb?
I think that's vagina or a fanny. Oh, that's what they were doing with those paper things.
Does he do cocaine? Isn't that a lot for someone who just like does it for the first time? I do like this. I love how they call cigarettes fags.
I know, we're gonna have to blur that.
Look, it is a new location.
They're in the boiler room. Oh my god. Fishman.
So UK has a crazy underground. Do you know how there's the, like, here in the States, you have the New York alligators? They have like actual people living underground. They have the bums under the boiler rooms.
It's okay to let it out, Nigel. It's just my fucking allergies, all right? It's dusty in here, isn't it?
Nobody's crying. Oh gosh. I was gonna say they were okay actors until that point where both actors were told to cry in the script and did not. It's gonna beat him up more than he beat up the fish guy. Because he took off his shirt for this one. It didn't show any gore. I mean, that blood spatter was pretty cool, though.
They didn't even show the headless body.
Yeah. What is that, his thumb?
I don't know. It was either a finger or a dick.
Where's Justin? He thinks he's seen him on Grafton Road. I'm gonna go and meet him. You boys check out
It was just like that was just every bit as tense as the kitchen scene in Jurassic Park, where the Velociraptor is behind the counter and they have to be silent. This feels like Shaun of the Dead meets Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, it does feel like, yeah, it does give me Shaun of the Dead vibes. It's weird that you don't like British humor, but Shaun of the Dead was great.
I was not a fan of Shaun of the Dead.
You weren't? I loved it.
The only British humor movie I've ever liked was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, that one's so good too. I like the Python films. The Jesus one was
Monty
great.
Python?
The Messiah. Yeah.
What, he's gonna kill himself? What the hell? Is he opening up gills? Was that... What a horrible ending to a movie.
Yeah.
Hold on, there may be more. Oh, I guess he did survive.
Aww. This movie was so romantic.
Okay, so I hated this movie. I have almost no likability for the main character, the fishman, any of the supporting roles. I hated the setting. I hated... You had mentioned at the beginning of the color palette, and everything was drab. All of the shots were flat. Nothing interesting happened. I need a minute to collect myself. God, this sucked though. I would give this 7 buckets of oil right at the get-go.
Wow. So I agree with you. I surprisingly did not like this movie either. Yes, it was some funny things. I'm not like you. I do find British humor somewhat amusing, and I think it's probably my favorite type of humor because it's not too raunchy. I don't really find raunchy humor funny.
I mean, the whole premise was the guy was having sex with the fish person. Like, that's pretty raunchy.
I know, which is yeah, that's raunchy, which is surprising because this is the most raunchiest British humor I have ever seen. It's the raunchiest ever, ever. But like it's also tasteful, you know, like it's that kind of humor where it's tasteful. It's not like a lot of the female comedians, like they are really raunchy and they say very vulgar things about sex, like that one comedian that I don't like. What's her name?
The fat one, Amy Schumer, is known for that.
Yes, that one. Yeah. Amy Schumer does it and it's disgusting. Her humor is not funny at all, which is why I prefer British humor about these type of topics because there is taste into it. It's kind of innuendos, you know. So it's not like in your face disgusting, right? And this movie was surprisingly horrible. I thought that I would like it more because it has had wins. 5 nominations or, forever. And then in those 5 nominations, I think they got 3 or 4 awards. In the indie film, that's kind of a really good rep, but I don't know. I didn't like it. And yes, I like the palette, simply because the UK does look like that. And the only reason what I liked about the palette was the beginning scenes where he's wearing the yellow jacket, and then there's that blue wall in the background when they're coming into leaving the ocean. I thought that was great. I also like the scene where he took a bunch of cocaine and he's just coked out, and how they did that. That was funny, and that was also really filmed well. So I think the film in itself, the crew was really well. I think it was written well. The acting wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. I hated that the two brothers were supposed to have a very big connection together, and it wasn't there. It missed out. They were supposed to be crying and they couldn't cry. I like the gore, but I wish there was more. I understand why they might have not have done it, is simply because it probably wasn't in the budget, or the practical effects couldn't do it. Or it's just British, they can't show it. They can't show that gory stuff. I think that really is the biggest issue, because now that I look at Doctor Strange, there's not much of that stuff. So I think in their film, they just can't do it. So I'll just retract that.
Well, we also have special guest co-host Limpy, our good friend who we've mentioned many times on this podcast. We're gonna bring him on to get his first thoughts as well.
I'm curious about him. So I do want to say I will be giving this an oily trash rating. I think I'm going to give it like a... I don't hate it as much as I hated Jeepers Creepers, but I say I feel pretty solid giving it a 3 for right now.
All right, 3 buckets of oil?
Yes, 3 buckets of oil.
All right, and Limpy, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, we can hear you. What did you think about ManFish?
What can I say about this film that hasn't already been said? It's been fucking terrible. I find that it has very few redeemable qualities. I was interested in the guy finally sticking up for himself, but he didn't even he wasn't even able to really do that. I mean, the whole thing about, like, him confronting his brother and those, his posse, like, I was really expecting a better, show, like, a better fight, but they immediately started running from the guy, right? Like...
Well, he got hit once, and then he just laid on the ground, and then the fish man did all the action.
Yeah, and they ran from him. Like, they didn't even fucking... Like you saw, they instantly ran from him. The guy didn't even finish swinging his club. He just fucking turned around instantly. I'm like, what kind of a fight is that? Come on, man. How are you going to take a swing at the dude, knowing he's got a connection with this fucking thing, and then you're just planning on running after that after taking your shirt off like a tough guy? That's not what a tough guy does.
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah,
not.
they did immediately. Like, why were they afraid of the fish man at any point? Because they had already beaten him unconscious earlier with no repercussions, so why would they assume that anything was different? And then, yeah, the main character, I had no likability for him. This guy was so weak and such a loser, and his redeeming arc here where he helps his fishman escape, he wasn't even brave in doing it. He was just coked out of his mind, and he did a bunch of crazy shit. He needed the scene where, at the end, the woman says, "Oh, that wasn't coke. That was how I keep my baking flour." And he's like, "Oh, I guess I had the power in me all along to do it." This was a complete joke of a film.
I see now Limpy's point here, because we're supposed to believe that these are drug dealers and they are quote unquote British mafia, right? I mean, I'm just assuming. And the brothers have been in this game for a long time in this town. And his side guy is supposed to be the tough guy, the scary guy, the fighter. And yeah, it was and it's supposed to be such a big thing, to a point where he was gonna beat him up to a pulp because he took off his shirt. So you knew it was serious. And there was nothing to come with it, and I think that's what made this film fail was the acting. Besides this young, older gentleman right here, I think he was really good. I think the female character was good. She was unlikable. She was raunchy female that would date a kind of guy like him, like the main character, and it sucks that there was no redeeming arc where he really stood up to her. He did in his way, called 911, whatever.
He dropped a dime on her, which is like the biggest bitch. He narked on her.
Yeah.
That's not brave. That's being a narc.
But like that's his way of redeeming himself. Like he did do something he wouldn't have done otherwise. And I see your points. Like it really wasn't that, oh wow, you're like, wow, our characters did it. And I think I think the acting was so bad. Now that the script was pretty good. The idea was really good, and I think it would have done better if the acting was better, if the people who were casted were raunchy looking drug dealers, I think, which they do look it, but I don't believe it. I just didn't believe any of the characters.
I couldn't get behind the fact that these were mafia guys because I've seen way better mafia guys in almost any other film that actually portrayed that role very very well. But I didn't see any strength in this fucking small group of misfits, really.
Right.
I wasn't terrified looking at him, and basically when he confronted his brother in the basement, it turned into the "no, you're the problem" kind of thing. No, the "no, you" meme. It was the "no, you" meme, that entire scene where he was arguing with his brother and going back and forth, and then that fight happened, and it was just like, okay, well, you solved absolutely no fucking nothing like came of this because like everybody just got murdered.
I'm sure they could have casted raunchy looking guys, and really I'm sure you could find them right away. Like there's a lot of directors and a lot of big directors who literally find people in the streets, and it's heartbreaking when it comes to if you're an actor and then you end up auditioning for a part, and then you find out the part that you auditioned for was given to a guy in the street on set. But it happens, and the director could have done that. He could have gotten a guy who's gone to a pub and be like, you look really dirty. Come on with me and be part of this thing that I'm doing right now. Just stand in the background. That's all you have to do. I'll give you some money. And it would have done better. I hated the guy who beat him up in the alley. He wasn't scary. He wasn't intimidating. It was annoying. I think that's all I have to say. But overall, the crew was good. The film was good. The lighting was good. The sets could have been a little okay, a little better, but it wasn't terrible. They kept changing locations, which was fine. Yeah, I am just very disappointed that it wasn't as good as I thought it would have been, just simply because it has gotten awards, but that's the UK.
See, I hated the choice in sets. I think we had the house and we had the pub. There are a few shots on the beach, which I like those. You have it outdoor, beautiful nature. All of the locations I hated. The boiler room at the end, awful. Everything. I have very little positive to say about this movie. The only thing I liked about this movie was the premise of the guy falling in love with the fish man. And I think how you fix this movie is you keep the premise, you throw out the entire plot. Everything with the drug dealers, him being a down on his luck loser with a cheating girlfriend. You throw all of that out and you just put this man and this fish person in a very traditional rom-com. And you build on that, because that's where the humor came from, was him and this fish person. And you have, like, the scene where, like, they sit down on the couch, and then they realize their knees are touching, and then they sit up straight and sort of look away awkwardly. Or, you have just a progression of sexual tension scenes, like you would have in your, like, a Jennifer Aniston type vehicle. But one of the characters, the love interest, instead of being a beautiful woman, is a fish creature.
Yeah, that's...
And then you just structure a new plot around that. That's what I think this movie needs to do.
The fish romance was very interesting. The makeout scene was I think that was art. I think that was artistic. I love that.
That should have been the climax of the movie, them making out.
Yep.
And then you have like a sex scene,
Yeah.
or like have it under the covers. It doesn't have to be explicit,
Right.
but like
The Sims.
Yeah.
Do it like The Sims.
And then like it fades to black, and then he tells his girlfriend, "Take a hike. I'm in love with ManFish here."
You know what this movie needed?
What?
It was him sitting on the bed. This would have been a great character arc here, I would have believed. Like him sticking up to his wife. It would have been great if he was on the bed smoking a cigarette and it's just smoky, and then his wife comes in. It's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, babe, you've been replaced." And it's the fish guy right next to him. And that would have been hilarious and amazing.
They should have both been smoking cigarettes.
Yes.
And then you have an effect where like the fish can drag on the cigarette, and then the smoke comes out of its gills. How great would that have been?
That would have been great. The fish guy in itself, the Ichthyoid wasn't too bad. I didn't hate it. I saw the budget of the film and it's fair and it passed and it's good. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. It is way better than Jeepers Creepers, big Hollywood film. So it's fine. Oh, that line the wife was talking about when he goes up to her and he's like saying stuff and she's like, "Oh my God, his eyes were just threatening me."
When they've been the exact same eyes the entire film. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was great.
All right, I don't have anything more to say about this other than don't watch it. I was looking forward to this movie.
So was I.
Especially after Grim Cuddy.
Yeah.
And then this I don't have anything to say. Are we wrapping this up? Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. Well, Limpy still has to. What was your Limp Coin awards?
3 limp coins. I would say 5 limp coins is the worst movie. So this was pretty terrible.
Okay, so 3 out of 5 then? Is that what you're rating this? I don't know why I can't...
Yes, 3 out of 5 limp coins means it is a pretty terrible movie. 1 limp coin would mean it would have been an almost good movie, except it has imperfections here and there.
Okay.
Because, we're trading limp coins at a negative value here.
I don't know, whatever. This movie sucks. Limpy, would you recommend this movie to anybody?
You know what? I would, if anybody needed to apologize to me without saying I'm sorry, I would use this film and force them to watch through it.
Yeah, I would only recommend this movie if I wanted to waste 80 minutes of somebody's life.
I would recommend this movie if they asked me, "Hey, what's oily trash movies?" And then if I ask them, "Are you subbed to oily trash movies?" And if their answer is no, I would recommend this movie.
Okay, so for all of our subscribers, don't watch this movie. But if you're not subscribed, it's actually, it's not that bad. We're only ragging on it for comedic value.
It's not that bad.
IMDb is going to take that one audio clip and they're going to be like, see, Big Daddy WarBux said this movie wasn't all that bad, and that's the only thing they're going to take from this entire episode.
Yeah, they're going to put that on the poster.
So that's all I have to say, and I hope you sub.
All right, take care, comb your hair.
And remember to mace directly in your face.
I actually came up with that, so now I don't have a line to say because Bubble adopted it.
Just
so.
make one up. Make one up.
Can't on the fly. That was my one good line.
Sucks. All right, the recording's over. Bye.